In the introduction of the play Electra, Orestes arrives in Mycenae to exact revenge on his father's murderers. He's accompanied by his friend Pylades and his friend and former tutor, Pedagogus, who rescued him after the murder of his father, Agamemnon. Orestes has Pedagogus pretend to be a messenger, bringing the news that Orestes has died in a chariot accident. Electra arrives, still mourning her father, years after his death. Electra talks with her younger sister, Chrysothemis, who has a more practical approach to the situation and prefers to keep her head down. In the rising action, Chrysothemis tells her sister Electra she is on the way to their father's grave with funeral libations from their mother, who's been frightened by a nightmare about Agamemnon. Electra tells Chrysothemis to throw away Clytemnestra's libations and to put libations from them on the grave instead. Chrysothemis goes off to do so. Electra next talks with Clytemnestra, who defends her actions, saying she was right to kill Agamemnon because he had sacrificed Electra's older sister, Iphigenia, to the goddess Artemis. Electra and her mother continue to argue until Pedagogus arrives disguised as a messenger and tells them Orestes is dead and that an urn containing his ashes will be arriving shortly. Clytemnestra's response mingles sadness and relief. Electra is inconsolable in response to the news of her brother's death and begs Chrysothemis to help her avenge their father. But Chrysothemis continues to counsel caution and refuses to participate. She implores Electra to be wiser and restrain herself. Orestes returns in disguise, bringing a funeral urn that supposedly contains his ashes. Electra holds the urn, crying over the loss of her brother and the end of her hopes for her family. Unable to bear her sorrow, Orestes reveals his true identity. She rejoices, but he cautions her to hide her joy so as not to give them away. Pedagogus comes out of the palace, tells them to keep quiet, and says they must act immediately because Clytemnestra is alone. In the climax of the play, Electra watches out for Aegisthus' return, and Orestes and his friends go inside and kill Clytemnestra, whose frantic cries can be heard. Orestes briefly reappears to report on his success, then goes back into the palace. In the falling action, Aegisthus arrives and wants to see Orestes' body. The doors of the palace open to reveal Orestes and Pylades standing beside a covered corpse. Aegisthus pulls back the covering and is stunned to see Clytemnestra's body. In the resolution, Orestes leads Aegisthus away and kills him as well. The chorus rejoices that the house of Atreus has been freed of its curse.